Aquarius, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. Maybe you can be my private dancer. Are you a Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio? I can be a black man, Dingo. Sagittarius, Capricorn, want more. Aquarius, Pisces, yeah, I'm at your back door.
Hello beautiful people, it's me Tasha, Queen of Hearts and Arts, and today I'm going to talk about water signs, the water element. Water signs are Pisces, Cancers, and Scorpios. These are the people who are really emotional, deep feelings. They're very intuitive, are the ones who are loving, committed, caring, compassionate. When you think about water, you think about, you need water in order to survive, and water fills you up. And that's how I think about water signs. Like, you can't survive without emotions. You can't survive without feelings. Water signs are very sensitive people because they deal with emotion. They can be manipulative or good at manipulating things. And this can be a good or bad thing because you can manipulate something with your hands, meaning like you can make things, or you can be persuasive. That makes you manipulative. You can be manipulative in a bad way. Not so good. Water signs are very deep people, and sometimes you will see a lot of Pisces or Cancers, maybe some Scorpios, especially the Pisces and Cancers are crybabies. Especially Pisces, they are crybabies. So let's start with the first water sign. The first water sign is Pisces. Pisces people are born from February 18th to March 20th. Pisces is a mutable sign. Mutable means have to keep moving, have to keep changing, or they might just change a lot, change their minds a lot, change directions, or just change their whole perspective. May not have the capacity to stick to certain ideas, people, surroundings, or things in general because they have to constantly keep it moving. Pisces people are ruled by the planet Neptune, which is like a really foggy type of planet, and Pisces people can really be foggy minded or perceive things from a foggy point of view, meaning that they can be delusional or not see things as clearly as they could be. And most people use the phrase seeing things through a rose-painted glass, which means that you're seeing things not so clear, seeing things how you want to see them instead of seeing them from a more realistic point of view. Pisces people sometimes have a hard time dealing with reality, and they might choose to fantasize, dream, or just be in their own little world, in their own head. A lot of Pisces people may be inclined to smoke weed, smoke marijuana, do drugs, do mushrooms, drink liquor, some form of habit that will allow for them to like feel different and escape reality, be in their own head, in their own world. A lot of Pisces people may even like to be in their own room, in their own space, away from people. They might use writing, music, or some type of creative outlet such as art, painting, some type of creative outlet to escape reality. And that could be music, art, painting, drawing, fashion design, just anything where they can escape reality and create things how they want it to be, whether it be real or unreal. Pisces people are very creative. Musicians and fashion designers, artists of many forms are Pisces. I'm really inclined to believe that many cartoon artists or cartoon creators may be Pisces because that's like a very Pisces type of thing, like to create characters with different dimensions, different depth perceptions, with unrealistic point of views. But I like it. I like the Pisces mind. They can really fantasize about something and have beautiful imaginations. Pisces is the 12th sign of the zodiac, which means that they're at the bottom and they are able to feel every single thing that came before them. Like, they're able to feel a little bit of each sign. They're able to be a little bit of each sign of the zodiac because they are the last of the zodiac. And Pisces, when it comes to emotions, feelings, and the whole water element, Pisces are the people who can feel everything. So they are known as being spiritual people, but spiritual meaning that they're connected to everything in their environment, the people around them, the earth, the insects, the bugs, like everything. Like, Pisces people can feel everything, and that sometimes can be both a blessing and a burden to be able to feel everything so deeply. So Pisces people, as you look at the sign, Pisces are ruled by two fish. One fish is coming and one fish is going. When Pisces people feelings get too heavy, they may choose to not come but go. And going again means to escape. Headphones and music, just somewhere where they can be in their own mind, in their own world. And this is important. So when the Pisces tell you, like, you know, they need their own space or some time alone, listen, darling,
please let the Pisces be alone.
because you know a Pisces can be like, you know, a little nice fish, but if the Pisces feels like their peace of mind or space is being violated, you will see the fish turn into a shark. The Pisces give the highest love. They give unconditional love. They are able to see the good in all people. Like you can find the worst person on earth, and the Pisces probably will have some type of sympathy or empathy for the person, like, and love the person despite what other people are saying, because they give unconditional love. You can, you know, they can be in love with somebody who might get into a car accident and lose all their limbs. The Pisces will never like leave that person. Pisces people are the sign that sacrifice themselves. They will sacrifice themselves, and especially in love. But unfortunately, a lot of times this proves to be a heartbreaking situation for Pisces, because they can love and love and love and love and love and love a lot of times, not get that love back, and sacrifice so much and not get the sacrifice back. So Pisces people are known as the hopeless romantics of the zodiac because of this reason. Pisces people have several soulmates, probably the most soulmates of the zodiac. They fall in love so much and they fall out of love the same way because of, you know, hurt and disappointment. Bad dealing with trusting people too much and being able to see the good in people without paying attention to the bad things in people and put them in very, you know, harmful or hurtful situations. Pisces people are the people who can see when you're hurting, see your pain, even when you're smiling. They can see the hurt through your smile. Pisces people can look in your eyes and know that, you know, something is not right. They really can feel you deeply, to the point where Pisces people have to be careful what environment they put themselves in, because whatever environment that a Pisces is in, they are like a sponge and they soak their environment up. So if they're in an environment where people are, you know, drinking, doing drugs, or, you know, just a bad environment that's not so good for the Pisces, unfortunately the Pisces will become their environment. But the Pisces is around a positive environment and positive people, you will see that the Pisces will inherit those positive traits. Even a Pisces person might hang around certain people and change their style according to the people that they're hanging around. Pretty much are like water. You know, water can maneuver around anything and like change, and the mutable signs, and they are able to change up just like water. Water can turn to ice, water can turn to steam. Pisces people are like the shift shapers who can like change form, change their hair, change their makeup, change their whole style so much. Pisces people are like Rihanna. You never know what they're going to come out looking like. Pisces people are also trendsetters because of this reason. They are able to, you know, change up a lot. Pisces people are also known to have psychic intuition. They can feel things so much to the point where they can like almost see and feel what's going to happen. They are very spiritual, loving, unconditional loving sign. Pisces will do and be whatever they're around, or a mirror to whatever they're around. They will talk like the people they're around. They will walk like, dress like, and be like the people that they're around. So it's very important for Pisces people to, you know, pay attention to their environment. The next water sign is Cancers. These are the people born between June 21st and July 22nd. Cancers are a cardinal sign, meaning they are good initiators. They are good at getting things started. Not so much like a fire sign or air sign, but more so they get things started, projects, you know, getting things organized for an event and planning and things of that nature. Cancer people are good at getting things started. Unlike other cardinal signs such as Capricorns and Libras, Cancers are the people who can get things started and have a lot of tactfulness to get what they start finish. Cancer zodiac signs ruled by the moon. Cancer people are emotional and they get their energy from the moon. So just as the moon changes every 2.5 days, a person with a lot of Cancer or moon placements in their birth chart be very emotional. Like Cancer people are like, as they say, crabby. Like, you know, sometimes they just change your whole mood for no reason. You be looking like, well, what did I say or what did I do? But the Cancer sometimes don't even know what was said or what was done, because a lot of times their thoughts show on their face. Like a Cancer can't even hide their feelings. Like you can see it on their face, you know, their disgust or however they're feeling. A lot of Cancer's feelings come from insecurities and their own personal thoughts in their mind. So a lot of times Cancer people can have some thoughts in their mind and they start to believe it. And even though the thoughts might not be true, the Cancers are so emotionally, tied to these thoughts and feelings that they actually believe it to be true. And this can lead them to get into a lot of confrontations with their family and their friends and loved ones. But for the most part, Cancers are like the motherly love. Even Cancer men have like motherly love. Or somebody who has a lot of Cancer or Moon in their birth chart, you will see that these people like to cook, love to be in the kitchen. They are the ones who like to bake the cookies and make nice meals, have a clean home. Because they're so emotional, they can have a lot of insecure energy, and they feel more secure at home, in their home. So having a nice home is important to a Cancer. Security and comfort amongst family and loved ones. Family is really important to Cancer people. Listen, darling, you don't want to come messing with a Cancer man or woman's loved ones or family or anybody who they care about, because you see how like mothers are in the wild about their babies and about the things they love. Like they will bite your head off. A Cancer person will like come for you like in the worst way when it comes to their loved ones. As sweet and loving as they are, and motherly as they are, the men and women, they will like come for you. So just be careful when you're dealing with a Cancer. But again, as I said, they're very loving, but they do have a lot of insecurities. Cancers are ruled by the crab, and you see the crab has like some little pinchers, and when he's walking, he moves like kind of sideways. A crab does not move like straight ahead. A crab moves kind of like sideways and cautious and waits, sideways and cautious and waits, or might just walk sideways. And if you pay attention to a Cancer person, you will see that they a lot of times might look at you across the room from the side, or they may move in some type of swagging sideways type of motion. They might not even walk all the way straight, stagger to their walk. Cancer people have a body shape that is kind of, and this is in general, kind of either curvy, extra curvy, like maybe on a healthier side, like a mother or a grandmother, or even for the smaller Cancers, they might have big breasts or nice breasts or a nice little curvy physique. Even Cancer men might have, have a little big booty. I don't know. Cancer men might have, some curves on them too. Or Cancer men might even have breasts. Even if you're not, a Cancer man who's not so chunky, but you still might have like man boobs. Sorry. Cancer people are always being called bipolar because of their constantly changing emotions and moods. So it's like you never know what you're going to get with a Cancer person. But in the end, Cancer people are very dependable. Like they are like the mothers of the zodiac. So a person can always depend on their mother. Overall, they're very loyal, very compassionate, very dependable, and they are also hilarious. Cancer people are probably like the top 5 comedians of the zodiac. If you look at some of your favorite, funniest comedians, actors, or anyone who's funny, your family or friends, you will see that they probably have like a lot of Cancer or Moon in their birth chart. These people, because they're so emotional, can tell the story like with so much emotion to the point where they can sound like that person they're talking about, act like the person they're talking about, and put so much like dramatic emphasis on the story and make a story so funny. Like I love to hear a Cancer tell me a story about something that happened because it's so theatrical. Like, oh my God, it's so dramatic. I love Cancers for that reason, because they're very dependable, very, very funny, very loyal, and very motherly. And sometimes the emotions can be too much for some people and their mood swings. I'll talk more about Cancers and some more of their traits and ways when I do my video on the sign of Cancers. The next sign I'm going to talk about is Scorpios.
Scorpios. I love Scorpios.
Let's talk about Scorpio. Scorpios are those people born between October 22nd and November 23rd. These are the most powerful people of the zodiac because they are ruled by Pluto and Mars. I really want to say Mars more so Pluto, but I'll talk about that more in depth when I make my full video on just Scorpios. But for the most part, Scorpios are a fixed sign. Fixed signs are people who are set in their ways. They are not easily, persuaded, or they don't change their mind so easily, or change their, whatever it is that they believe in or they do, they don't change it so easily. Fixed signs are stubborn. Scorpios can be looked at as stubborn or, hard to break. because a scorpion is hard to break. A scorpion itself, like, it has a hard armor, a hard outer shell, but it's like softish jelly on the inside. And that's how Scorpio people are. They appear really, you know, hardcore, aggressive, maybe even mean to some people, and just hard to understand and get close to and know. But that's their hard outer shell. That's their, you know, protective shield, because really, like I said, with Scorpio on the inside is just like jelly. And that's how Scorpios are. They really have like deep love, deep compassion, deep feelings. However, they are so afraid of getting hurt that they put this big guard up, you know, they put this big guard up to protect themselves. And they only let a very few people, you know, get close to them in that way to even know how they feel, how they act, how they live, what do they love, what do they hate. You would never really know too much about a Scorpio unless you are in their immediate circle. And a lot of times the circle is small. So even if you think you know a Scorpio really good, you will never really know that much about the Scorpio. Even their deepest, darkest secrets might not be their deepest, darkest secrets, because Scorpios are like the kings and queens of keeping secrets, especially about themselves. Scorpios have the deepest emotions. You think about water and you think about depth, and you plunge into some deep water. That is the feelings of the Scorpio people. Like, they go
deep
when they want to know something about a person, about a subject, or about anything. Scorpios can go deep into the subject, and they will like want to uncover everything about it and leave nothing uncovered. Scorpios have trust issues. They are very self-protective. They may put someone who they care about or want to get close to through mind games, as people call it, you know, mind games. But it's probably more so, I look at it more so as a test. And it might seem kind of bold for someone to test you, but Scorpios will test you to see if you are worthy of, you know, getting to that jelly, getting to that inner core, and experiencing who they truly are. Scorpios are known as like sneaky freaks. They're not sneaky, again, they're just secretive, and they're not freaks. Scorpios are ruled by the sexual organs. So many times with Scorpios, when they're in a relationship, they might choose their mate through sexual interactions, because a lot of times they won't even know that they like you or love you until they have a sexual connection with you. That's really how they make a decision. Scorpios decide your fate in a sexual relationship, basically. So if it ain't good, or if it don't make them feel powerful or changed or like invigorated, then pretty much don't stand a chance with a Scorpio. If you ever see a Scorpion sting themselves, that's how Scorpio people can be. They can put themselves through so much, you know, emotional turmoil, so much ups and downs, and so much bad things in life, that they will be mad at themselves and sting themselves or hurt themselves or just put themselves down. But one thing about Scorpio is that they will always bounce back. No matter how bad things get in life, they will always bounce back. When they bounce back, it's like better and higher than they were before in life. And unfortunately, Scorpios will experience a lot of ups and downs, just as anybody can, but Scorpios probably are the ones who experience the most ups and downs in life. But the ups and downs are a part of them getting higher and higher and better, becoming better. The ups and downs are them becoming a better version of themselves. Scorpios are the sign of transformation, so they will constantly transform and change, and a lot of times they should become a better person, but some Scorpios don't become a better person, but overall they will. They also can transform the people around them and make them a better person, or sometimes not so better person, you know, make them worse. Scorpio people, because they have a lot of transformative energy, will be the ones like other signs such as Aquarius and Libras and Pisces. They will change their looks a lot, change their hair, change their makeup. The men might change their facial hair a lot. You would see a Scorpio man like change his hair a lot, change his hairstyles a lot, like, you know, or change his hair color, or change his mustache and change this, like shave it or let it grow all in, or just have something different about his facial hair, like play around with that a lot. And Scorpio men and women both change their styles a lot, but it's still, no matter what a Scorpio changes into, their style always has like a power to it. They look powerful, they look intimidating, or they look important to people. And this could be a good thing. Some people might be, you know, drawn to that because Scorpios are very magnetic. But some people might be, you know, repelled from that because Scorpio energy, the black or white, like you like them or you don't like them. They like you or they don't like you. So with Scorpio, it's either this or that and nothing else. And they say there's no gray area when dealing with Scorpio. So it's either like they like you or love you or they don't. There is no faking with Scorpios. They are probably like the sign that's probably a little bit too real. They can say things that are very hurtful because they're so blunt with their speech and their opinion, you know. However, when it comes to talking about themselves personally, a Scorpio might shut down, might even ask them a question about themselves, they might shut down. Scorpio people are the ones who ask you 1,000 questions. Having a conversation with a Scorpio will probably consist of nothing but just questions. Them just asking you,
what this and what that and who this and where that.
and you know, they want to know everything and ask a lot of questions. But like I said, when you ask them questions, it's like you don't get no answer. All about self-protection, and that's what Scorpios do, protect themselves. They also protect the ones that they love and care about. So people describe Scorpios quite often as jealous, possessive, and obsessive, but Scorpios have a lot of power. So when you multiply the love and the care that the Scorpio have for you, sometimes it can come off as jealous, possessive, and obsessive. But the positive side to that is just them caring about you and loving you so much that they don't want to see you, you know, in harm's way or anything that happens to you. So they are very protective of you. But the negative side of Scorpios, jealousy, possessiveness, and obsessiveness could be, you know, violence. It could be stalking. It can be something that's not so good. We're going to focus on the good sides and say that, you know, they're very loving and caring people and protective people. Scorpios are so misunderstood. Even though they're very blunt, a lot of times they don't really express how they really feel about things, and they can hold a lot inside. Like, they are the masters of deception. Scorpios really are the masters of deception. People be thinking it's this was really that.
They would just have your mind just like blown.
And that's how Scorpios wear a mask, you know, because it's like what you're seeing or what you think you're seeing, it's not really what it is. A person will have to be very intuitive to even begin to understand Scorpio, because they do wear this mask. And a mask deception is like to throw you off and to never let you into the depths of hell. No, I'm just kidding. Into their world, because Scorpios are like the king of the underworld. They are the ones who will plunge deep into things, into a subject. A lot of times Scorpios might have a job as a plumber, surgeon, or somebody digging into things. A psychologist, you know, digging into somebody's mind. Might be a fashion designer as well too, because they change so much. But anything that has to do with like digging or manipulating things, Scorpios are very powerful and controlling. They might have a job as an accountant, or they have to be like in charge basically, because it's a fixed sign. Scorpios have a lot of focus, and they really are inclined to be leaders. Scorpios will never really like enjoy being a follower, like, you know, somebody at the bottom. When Scorpios set their minds on something or someone, they become obsessed with it. An obsession that will, a lot of times, I don't even think they realize it, how obsessed they might be over something or someone. Like, they might stalk the person via social media or at work, or just somewhere, or just, you know, watch the person from afar and want to get to know everything about a person before they actually, you know, date them or while they're dating them. A Scorpio has to know everything all the time, and they will always test you and look at you and read you and make sure that they can continue to test you. So just because Scorpio lets you in doesn't mean that you're in. It's always like levels to a Scorpio, and that's why they're so misunderstood. But when a person, like I said, is very intuitive, you don't have that problem. Like, you know, you can get along better with a Scorpio. They're very controlling because they don't want to be controlled. They don't want to be surprised. They don't want to be embarrassed. They rather control other people and things to go in their favor, because, again, they're very self-protective. And being controlling is a way for them to protect themselves. They're very intense people, but they're also very cautious. I think it really could be hard for Scorpios to be both intense and cautious, because it's like you want to go after something so passionately and so aggressively. However, you have to be cautious, because, you know, like, you never know what might happen. But I feel like Scorpios are the ones who walk around at nighttime in the dark not scared of nothing. They are the ones who are brave as hell and don't even care what might happen at the same time. Scorpios are so misunderstood because they can be a contradiction of themselves. Like, they are like the opposites of themselves. Scorpio's eyes, you know, their eyes are just so, you know, a bigger pupil, like a bigger pupil that's very, you know, it's just something about the eyes is just so like deep and intense. Like, it's almost like you can daydream and get caught up into like their trance. It's like, but one thing's for sure is that if you try to have like some type of a stare down with a Scorpio, darling, just give it up, because a Scorpio has the most intense, deep stare that you really want to stare down. Like, if a Scorpio is looking at you and you look at them, you probably look away, because that's how powerful their stare and their eyes is. Like, even Scorpio children, like, they will give you like this unblinking stare that makes you like feel uncomfortable, like, you know, like, and make you look away. But, you know, I can deal with it. I can take it. I like it, you know. Scorpios have eye problems. They have staring problems. It's really just them like trying to figure things out, or always trying to figure things out. But I'll talk more about that when I do my full Scorpio video. This right here is just in general, some of the traits about Scorpio. So this is my brief explanation on water signs and how I view it. If you agree, if you disagree, just comment. Let me know if this fits you or somebody that you know. Comment and let me know. Hit the like button. Please subscribe so I can make more videos. And stay tuned for my video on earth signs. And that's it for now. Thanks for watching the video. And have a beautiful day, darling. Deep waters, I'm drowning in. Deep waters, slowly drowning. Deeper, 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 deeper. You know what? I ain't even about to start.